This episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. You know that one friend who always finds the best travel deals, picks the right cards, and somehow ends up in first class for the price of coach? How do they do that? Well, Smart Travel is like that friend, but in podcast form. They cover all things travel finance, like which travel cards earn their keep and which are just heavy, shiny metal, and planning group trips that won't ruin your budget or your friendships. So travel smarter and spend less. That's the key with help from NerdWallet. Follow Smart Travel wherever you get your podcasts. Armchair-Explorer is a part of the Voyescape podcast network. Check out all of their shows from around the world at voyescape.com. Welcome to Armchair Explorer on location. Travel and adventure stories recorded in the field in the most immersive way possible, designed to give you a glimpse of what it feels like to be there for real. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey guys, I got a little ghostly adventure with a Wild West twist for you today. We're going to Deadwood, South Dakota. How cool is that name, by the way? It just sounds like somewhere synonymous with the Wild West. And it is, of course. Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and many, many others once walked these streets. And some of them, it turns out, might have had a problem leaving. Ghosts and gunslingers, Black Hills and Deadwood. That is what this episode is all about. And taking us on this one is my good friend, travel writer and presenter, Brian Thacker, who you may remember from some previous episodes. He's a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it too. But before you do, I also wanted to let you know some big news. We're expanding what we do at the show here, and we're going to do a kind of relaunch at the end of September, the 27th to be precise. That's World Travel Day 2024. We're still doing all the usual formats, but now we're going to be able to do lots more, which means we can explore more places, meet more awe-inspiring people, and share more incredible stories every single month. So keep an eye out for that. We've been working really hard on some content coming up. We've got lots of great episodes, including legendary adventure photographer Chris Burkhardt sharing some tips on his craft. We're going to hear from a couple who spent a year living with a wolf pack, kind of became part of the pack too. We're going to go for some immersive adventure in Joshua Tree National Park. I love Joshua Tree. And you're going to hear about the scariest travel experience I've ever had. It involves a cave in Panama and a lost head torch. So hit that follow button. It's the only way to make sure every episode drops in your feed. And follow me on Instagram too, at Armchair Explorer Podcast, for some regular doses of adventure inspiration. But for now, Deadwood's calling, so get ready, because the adventure is about to begin.
All right, nobody move, nobody get hurt. And that goes for you too, Bob Dog. And you, wipe that stupid grin off your stupid face.
That wasn't very nice. That wasn't either.
Okay, that's not a real hold-up or gunshot. That's one of the historical reenactments that takes place 3 times a day, 6 days a week, no killing on Sundays, here in the streets of Deadwood.
I'm your huckleberry.
I hope you die. That'll be the day.
I mean, how stupid do you think I am?
I don't know. I just met you.
When you have to shoot, don't talk.
Tales of the Wild West and lawless frontiers are ingrained in American culture, and nothing in the country's history compares to the period between 1865 and 1895, when prospectors and pioneers pushed their way west, kicking off one of the largest gold rushes in America. Not long after, Deadwood became a rough and ready boomtown that lured bands of outlaws, gamblers and gunslingers in search of that glittering gold hidden deep in the Black Hills of South Dakota. And although much has changed, as we're about to discover, it's still the Wild West. Roaming herds of buffalo, Wild West towns, mountains, monuments, ghosts and gunslingers. Welcome to South Dakota, the land of infinite variety. I'm Brian Thacker, I'm a travel writer, and this is episode 2, Black Hills and Deadwood. The roots of Deadwood date back long before it became a Wild West boomtown. Land traditionally utilised by Native Americans was taken with the Louisiana Purchase in 1803.
In 1868, the United States government gave a piece of land west of the Missouri River all the way to the Bighorn Mountains of Wyoming to the Sioux Indian. The Sioux Indian didn't use the Black Hills to live in. They used them for hunting, burials, and ceremonies. They considered them sacred.
This is Kate McGraw, local historian and ghost hunter.
But in 1874, Custer led an expedition into the Black Hills, and he brought 1,000 men. Soldiers, photographers, newspaper reporters, geologists. He even brought a 15-piece band. And while he was here, he discovered gold. And news traveled fast. One newspaper read that the gold dust was underneath the horses' feet. So pretty soon there were 10,000 illegal miners right here in Deadwood. And they weren't exactly the cream of the crop. It was as if the earth tipped and all the riffraff poured into Deadwood. There were no sewers. They say you could smell Deadwood before you could see it, from about 10 miles away. There was no law. Something happened to somebody every day between murder, disease, gunfights, and suicide.
The American Wild West has been romanticised by countless books and movies, so much so that we know the stories and the names of the outlaws and gunfighters and even the saloons. And I'm sitting in one of those famous saloons now where one of those Wild West infamous scenes took place. I'm in Saloon No. 10 in Deadwood, South Dakota. And it was here in this bar on August 2nd, 1876, where famed gunslinger Wild Bill Hickok was shot dead while playing a game of poker. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's playing poker in Saloon No. 10, not getting shot, by the way. And I'm here with a local, and his name is Andy Moshek. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
I am the executive director of Deadwood Alive. This is where everybody comes to hang out. It is an actual functioning saloon. If you come in on Friday and Saturday night, it's going to look just like it would have back in the 1870s. Lots of fun going on, lots of things happening. It's also where we do a reenactment of Wild Bill's last card game as well.
Wild Bill Hickok killed at least 10 men and earned a reputation as the fastest drawer in the West. But he was more than just a gunslinger. He was a lawman, a coach driver, actor, gambler, and war scout. He helped slaves escape north along the Underground Railroad and fought in the country's bloody Civil War. But in the end, his reputation would catch up with him.
On August 1st, Wild Bill was playing cards with a bunch of fellas, including Jack McCall, and Jack lost all of his money in the game. And Wild Bill felt so bad for him that he offered him some money so that he could find a room for the night and maybe something to eat for breakfast the next day. And Jack McCall took that as an insult and stormed out of the place. But Wild Bill was just trying to be a nice guy, and it offended him. Well, Wild Bill come into the saloon and was going to come back to his normal spot where he had been playing cards regularly and sit down with the fellows and play a little bit of poker. Well, he got into a little bit of an argument with one of the guys because he was sitting in the chair that he preferred. He preferred to have his back towards the wall so that he could survey the room and see anybody that was coming in, any possible dangers, or just generally what was going on. He did not win that argument. He ended up sitting with his back to the room. A short while later, a fella named Jack McCall came walking in and circled the table looking at everybody's cards. Old Wild Bill recognized him from the card game the day before, so he wasn't too alarmed. He ended up walking right up behind Wild Bill, pulled out his pistol and shot him, and then continued to snap his pistol at everybody else at the table. It malfunctioned, didn't function right, didn't work, and he didn't hurt anybody else, and then he ran out of the bar. And they chased him down and caught him shortly thereafter, put him on trial the very next day.
What happened at the trial?
Well, it was a miners' court. They recruited people from the districts around the area here to serve as the jury. They put him on trial. They appointed a judge and attorneys and found him not guilty and released him. Now,
No, most people saw him shooting him.
everybody saw it. Everybody knew that he had done it.
Right.
But somehow they managed to get him acquitted of it, and he took off. He knew that if he stuck around here, somebody was going to get him back. So he took off, and he got over into Wyoming and got to bragging about shooting Wild Bill just over a card game, which we're not exactly sure why he did it, but that's what he professed. And it made him pretty easy to find. The law caught up with him, arrested him, and took him to the territorial capital in Yankton and put him on trial again. Well, there's such a thing as double jeopardy. You're not supposed to be able to be tried twice for the same crime. It didn't actually apply because the area where Deadwood is was actually a part of the Great Sioux Reservation. So any murder that happened on Indian land had to be tried at the territorial capital. So the first trial wasn't valid anyway, and he could be retried. And they found him guilty and they hanged him.
First time.
Jack McCall only shot Wild Bill once. Andy, on the other hand, has been shot hundreds of times because Andy is not only the director of Deadwood Alive, he's also been part of the show for more than 10 years. But plenty of gunslingers came to town, and Wild Bill shooting isn't the only reenactment they do.
One of them is a fellow that got shot by accident while playing cards in the forehead and lived for 67 days afterwards. Another one that we do is two fellas that got into a disagreement over a game of cards and shot it out on Main Street, actually over on Gold Street, about half a block from here, and emptied their guns, never hit each other, hit a bystander, injured another fella by shooting out a window. And when it was all over, the friends convinced them to stop and they went and had a drink together. The third one that we do during the day actually happened over on Sherman Street, about 2 blocks from here. And it was a Deputy U.S. Marshal, who was also a stagecoach messenger, had an incident where he had got into a shootout out on the trail with some fellas and they had robbed a stagecoach. He come walking around the corner with a friend of his and recognized the guys that had held up that stagecoach. So they got into a gunfight on Main Street, shot up old Prescott Webb pretty bad, but he survived. They put him on trial and they found them all not guilty due to a lack of evidence. But that was another true story that happened right here on the streets.
As Deadwood's reputation grew, it began to draw some of the most notorious and celebrated characters in the West, including another famous name, Calamity Jane.
She dressed like a man, and she got various jobs as a bullwhacker, pulling wagons across the prairie, as a scout, actually for Custer when he come out. And she made more money as that, so she was a pretty mannish woman. Pretty crass, drank a tremendous amount of alcohol, but she actually had a heart of gold. Everybody loved her. She literally would give you the boots off of her feet if you needed them, the shirt off of her back. She was a heart of gold, took care of sick people a lot. Everybody liked her, but they didn't necessarily want to hang out with her, if you know what I mean.
Soon after, another quick draw arrived who also took care of sick people and put more than one in their grave.
Doc, I didn't know you was back in town.
Doc Holliday showed up here in Deadwood after everything happened in Tombstone and the vendetta rides and everything with Wyatt Earp. He showed up here in town. He was traveling around under an assumed name so nobody would recognize him. He ended up in a saloon, and for some reason, the bartender took offense to one of the customers and demanded that he buy another drink or pay for a drink or hadn't paid enough or something, and pulled a gun on this customer. And Doc pulled his gun out, shot the bartender in the wrist. So anybody who was somebody came to Deadwood. It was the most exciting thing going on. They found more gold here than anywhere else in the Western Hemisphere, so why wouldn't you want to go there and find out what was happening? They've already found over 50 million troy ounces in this 10-mile by 10-mile area. 100 square miles, the richest 100 square miles in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thanks for chatting, Andy. And more importantly, now it's time for a game of poker, and I think it's your turn to serve.
All right, we're up. How much money did you bring with you?
I got about $10.
You're not going to be here very long.
Before I lost my last $10, we bid farewell to Andy and mosey out onto the street. It's like walking through American history. The buildings and signs still reflect the era in which its rich history was forged. There's even an old brothel. Historic one, I might add, not present day.
Oh, check this out. Let's walk up to the top. Oh, there it is. Soiled Dove Whorehouse. There's a sign up here. Let's get to the top. House rules. High-grade silver or gold dust or nuggets will be accepted as payment. No sleeping in the beds. Spurs not to be worn in the beds. Special rates for politicians and lawmen. So it was shut down in, can you believe this, 1980. So, oh, there's another one, this is the Shasta Rooms brothel. Finest high-class ladies.
But we're off to look for a different type of strange noise in the bedroom. The Bullock Hotel opened in 1895. It's the oldest hotel in town and is named after Deadwood's first sheriff, Seth Bullock. Apparently, he's still hanging around. And we're meeting someone who knows where to find him.
So there used to be a rack of wine glasses here. 2 people were sitting at a table negotiating the sale of the hotel. 2 wine glasses flew off and smashed into the fireplace.
This is Kate McGraw, our ghost tour guide.
Just walk downstairs into the basement.
I love it that it's dark in here. A long, empty bar sits against the back wall. There's overturned tables, scattered chairs, and a wall of old mirrors that looks like it's straight out of a horror movie.
Well, this is Seth's cellar. Okay, I believe Seth's cellar gets activity because we don't use it very much. Nobody's down here except for us ghost people and the hotel staff. And some of the hotel staff in the past wouldn't come down here by themselves. Things have happened to me. I used to say nothing happened to me. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I was only the storyteller. But that's changed. One time somebody took a photo of me and there was an orb this big next to me, and you guys know what orbs are, right?
Could you, for our listeners, what is an orb?
An orb is a circle of light. It might be this big. Sometimes it's turquoise. It's the spirit. That's the spirit. If you see an orb go over this way, that way, going around, those are ghosts. Those are spirits that are with us. And we get a lot of that down here. So one time I was opening this door. I'll show you this door.
Don't worry, that was just producer Jason adding some atmospheric sounds from a piano hidden away in a dark corner. Or was it? Meanwhile,
This door here, I was opening it. Someone took a photo of me. There was a face at the back of my head. When I opened the door, there was an image standing behind me. These things have happened. We know we have a cat. People have come up from Seth's cellar with a scratch on their arm, a scratch on their leg. They don't really feel it. They just notice it later. Over 7 times, people have taken images of a cat in the hotel with their phones or their cameras. And you know that the spirits come to us through electronics. So a lot of times people will come with their phones fully charged. By the end of the tour, they won't have any energy left in it at all because it's been all used up by the spirits. People see orbs and things in the videos. We've had a notice where there's been an image of a man's face in this mirror. Our paranormal investigators come from Minnesota. They only investigate the Bullock Hotel. They did a video, very long, but room 314 in our hotel had activity, room 207 had activity, conversations going on, doors slamming, people snoring for a very long time, and there was a scream in the video. I don't know where it came from. It's not common at the Bullock, but it is a haunted hotel.
we're hearing creaking floorboards down here and knocking. Is that paranormal activity or is it just some guests?
No, that's the people upstairs.
Kate asked if we would like to see some spirits. Why not?
We take photos. We get our phones out, they get their phones out, and we start seeing orbs and images. And do you want to do that?
Yeah, we'd love to do it. Yeah, I've got my phone out.
Take a video looking around here to see if an orb would be in the video. Sometimes they're around me, so people take videos of me while I'm talking, because then last night one came by like this while I was talking and back over like this.
You keep talking.
So just try different places, and I'll look behind your shoulder to see if I see. Oh, you got one. Did you see it?
I'll go back.
Go back.
Ooh.
Keep talking. Just keep talking.
So just try There, you see it?
Yes. Whoa.
How about that?
So that's the... How would you describe what we just saw in the video?
That was the spirit. It just came by me for you. Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing and a bit scary. Kate leads us to an even darker and creepier place. And when she shows us the photo that was taken inside, I wasn't sure I really wanted to go in. So I suggested Jason go in first. Blaine, what is that?
This is the little girl, an image of a little girl.
Oh, yeah, you can see it's her face.
Her nose, This was taken in behind that door. During the paranormal investigation, the paranormal investigator said that a door moved, and I saw it in the video. But they couldn't say that it was paranormal because there was a little mouse by the door. I'll open the door. You see if a mouse can. It goes underneath the street, underneath the sidewalk.
Yep.
Okay. So do you think a mouse could move this door?
That's a big, thick, heavy door.
And it's in this room that somebody took this photo of the little girl. You want to go in, step up, there's a threshold, and then step down.
It's just, by the way, it's completely dark in here.
You can take some photos in there if you'd like.
All right. Thankfully, there were no ghosts of little girls or cats or dead bodies, although it did cross my mind for a second that we could be locked in there, never to be seen again. So often people take photos and they see something. It happens quite regularly?
The orbs happen all the time.
All right.
Some people get like a whole bunch of them when they go into this room. They're just everywhere. And then sometimes we do a tour and there aren't any. I mean, it's not up to me.
Yeah.
I give the tour the same way, but that doesn't mean that we're going to get activity. It's not up to me. So I usually take people up to the second and third level. I can take you through there if you'd like to see that.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
Heading upstairs. Let's have a look.
Oh, 314's open. Let's go see.
We can peek inside room 314 where activity we can... Ooh, what's that? That's just someone closing the door. So do the people who are staying in this room, do they know that when they're lying in bed at night and all the lights are out, aren't they like thinking, there's someone else in this room in here with me?
Well, what's happened, like one man, he said he stayed in this room with his wife and his daughter. He came on my tour. Now, his daughter was about 11. He said when his daughter was a small baby, he and his wife and daughter stayed in 314. He said he went downstairs to make some money. He went gambling, and he left them in the room. He said that the lady went into the bathroom, and there were dead flies in the bathtub. So she called downstairs. Somebody came and removed them. A little while later, they were back. So they checked out of the hotel and didn't stay that night. She was not on my tour years later. I don't think she stepped foot in the Bullock. But he said his brother-in-law had stolen the key from one of our suites. We used to have a really expensive fob, and our key's worth about $75. When the brother-in-law found out about the dead flies, mailed it back. So I always tell, the moral of the story is, of course, don't steal anything from any hotel, but I wouldn't recommend it here at the Bullock.
Phew, no dead flies. Okay, we're okay. It's a little bit spooky, let's get out of here.
They want to come here to a haunted hotel. Other people find out after they're in the room. Like, I'll be giving a tour and somebody's heading towards 314, and I'm like, you're in that room, you know it's haunted. I just found out. They get all scared and they don't want to be in the room. So it just depends. It's definitely a draw. A lot of people come to stay at this hotel because it's historic and because it has activity.
And as if we hadn't been spooked enough already, we leave the charming and somewhat ghostly Bullock Hotel to head somewhere equally as creepy and full of dead bodies. Kate, it was absolutely lovely meeting you. Thank you so much for the tour, and you've got me all a bit scared about ghosts now, but that's okay. I'm going to get even more scared now because we're heading up to the cemetery.
Well, at least it's daytime.
Yes, true. I wouldn't want to go up there at night.
Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the cemetery.
We've just walked up the hill above the town of Deadwood in Moriah Cemetery. It's early morning, the sun's filtering through the Black Hill spruce trees, and scattered around us are gravestones everywhere, dating back to late 1800s. It's rather appropriate that we end up here. We started our story with Wild Bill Hickok, We've entered here looking for his grave, so let's go find it. Let's just over here. Let's stop here. We made it. Here we are. It's Wild Bill Hickok's grave. There's a big bust of him. Best way to describe it, looks like the Wild West man that he was, and a cross between that and a 90s hair band lead guitarist. Oh, look at this in the base of it. There's a couple of plastic small whiskey bottles full. He hasn't drunk them yet. J.B. Hickok died August 2, 1876 by pistol shot, aged 39 years. I love this bit. Custer was lonely without him. And talking about lonely, next to him is Calamity Jane, so he's not alone. I love that quote of hers, never go to bed sober, alone, and with 1 red cent in your pocket. She's right next to Wild Bill, including many Wild West famous folk, including Seth Bullock, who we were chasing his ghost earlier. He's buried here as well. It seems fitting that these famous figures of the Wild West are buried in this wild, rugged mountaintop. It's a place where the spirit of the Wild West lives on. Deadwood is truly alive. Well, besides the ghosts. And the former coarse and cavorting town is now a lot less rough, but just as much fun. South Dakota was a wild frontier, but that wildness can also be seen today in its ancient landscapes, fragrant mountain forests, and miles of open prairies. It's a place that, just for a moment, you can feel like you've stepped back in time. It's a place called Deadwood, South Dakota. Thanks for joining us for episode 2 of South Dakota, the land of infinite variety. Remember to tune into our next episode when our great South Dakota adventure takes us on a special journey into Native American history. From climbing the Crazy Horse Monument to experiencing Lakota culture through Indigenous music and dance. You won't want to miss this. So hit that subscribe button and follow us wherever you get your shows. If you'd like to create your own South Dakota stories, go to travelsouthdakota.com. You'll find lots of inspiration, ideas, and everything else you need to know to plan your great South Dakota adventure. We'd like to thank our gunslinging director Andy and our ghostly guide Kate, who gave us their time and stories. This series was produced by Armchair Productions, the audio experts for the travel industry. Find out more at armchair-productions.com. I'm Brian Thacker. I wrote and presented the show. Jason Patton recorded in the field and produced the episode along with Aaron Miller. We'll see you next time on South Dakota, the land of infinite variety.
Thanks for listening to this Armchair Explorer on location episode. I had a ton of fun making it. I hope you had a ton of fun coming along with me. Next week, we'll be back with our usual format, and then there'll be lots more on location stuff to come.
Quick question. Do you want travel tips from people who have actually been there?
Our show is co-hosted by Tim Johnson, an award-winning travel journalist who's been to more than 145 countries around the world. And I'm David Brody, the other co-host who's been travel podcasting for 20 years while traveling to 50-plus countries around the world.
In about 10 or 20 minutes per show, we break down a destination with the kind of insight you usually only get from long guidebooks or hours of research.
So if you want expert advice, zero fluff, and travel inspiration that you can actually use, search for Travel in 10 wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can also find us at boyescape.com.
Hi, I'm Pauline Fromer, host of the Fromers Travel Podcast. We post new episodes weekly, detailing the kinds of money-saving tips and cultural insights that will make your trips richer without making you significantly poorer. We do so by interviewing real travel experts like TV host Samantha Brown, Fromers authors from around the globe, and such public figures as Free Solo's Alex Honnold. It's a fun travel party. I hope you can join us.